Okay, so I am making some hold down rods for my battery boxes, and I've just got a piece of 1/4-inch round stock, and it's just easier to do this on the lathe for me. You know, the lathe squares the end up real nice, just does a better job than trying to do with a grinder by hand. I am by far no machinist, and I know enough it's dangerous. So basically what I'm going to do here is just face the end of this off, get it nice and square, cut a little chamfer on it, and then thread it. On it. And I'm gonna thread it, and all I'm gonna do to do that, slow it down a little.
What are you doing, Dad?
I'm making some threads, man. You wanna see?
If I just make something like this, hit it on wood, it flies.
It flies, all right, man. Hold on.
I can make it.
So I'm just gonna hold my die on there. It'll start speeding. I'm sure somebody's cringing about this.
What are you making for us anyway?
I'm making them for the boat, man. So there's one end. Now, nice and close. Turn the speed her up a little. Face it off. Knock the edge off. Give it a little dab of oil. Slow it down. There you go. Do a little test of the nut.
Hey, Dad. Can we use some stuff to make something and then hook it up? I'm not hooking it up.
Good. You want to make some stuff and hook it up?
Yeah.
What do you want to make?
I couldn't make
Alright, so I started putting together the battery box, which is going to be on the starboard side of the boat. And I'm using 6-volt golf cart batteries. I made hold-down brackets, which are just some aluminum angle welded together, and then I've got these rods, threaded rods, that are threaded down into an insert. I don't know if you can see one. They're down in there, and they've got a flange on them, and they're driven up from underneath, so they tighten up against the plywood. But this is going to be the house bank. I will have, I don't know, man, like 1,200 amp hours of house battery. It'll be 10 6 volts for a 12 volt system. Wired in series parallel. And I'll have 10 of them in here. Let's see. So here's where they're going to go. I've got 4 in right now, which will do me just fine while I'm building the boat. And it goes all the way over to underneath the sea chest. Now, let's see if you can see this. I have to eliminate that last valve. Actually, what I'm going to do is cut that valve flush to the manifold, and I'll rotate it 90 degrees, and it'll be sticking out 90 degrees from the other valves, which will be okay. It's a spare anyway. And the battery box will be about 1 inch underneath that coupling. So that's the end of the battery box where the drill is, right against that frame, and that'll be my 10th battery, which should be plenty for us. I haven't wired them together yet, but I'll do that this week. I'm waiting on wire, and I'm going to go ahead and get these hooked up, and I'm going to decide where I'm going to mount my switches and my inverter and some of that other stuff. I think it's going to go right here on a panel right there. So that's where I'm at. I'm still doing little odds and ends before I move the boat. I want to get the battery secured. I don't know, I probably could have gotten by with just building a box and jamming them in there tight, but every piece of equipment I own has a hold down just like this, and it's worked great in my heavy equipment. I don't know if it's overkill for this, but you know, I don't want the batteries moving around. So that's what I've got.